Namaste everyone, Anuj Chhabra here again. Today we are going to discuss about a very beautiful flower. All of you must be knowing about it. This is Parijata, or also known as Harshringar, or many different states, different names. It is popular for this flower. Very aromatic and it's highly medicinal, you can say. Okay, so Harshringar, as you understand by the name, Harshringar, Har is Hari. Hari is being represented by this, that is Lord Krishna. So this is a favorite plant of Lord Krishna, and so it is also called as Hari Krishna. Generally, whatever the flowers we offer it to God, those flowers are being plucked by us from the plant. But this is only one flower, you can say, which always we pick up from the floor. It's a night blooming flower, so every time in the evening this flower blooms, and before the sun rises these flowers are there on the floor, and these flowers are picked up and being offered to the god Krishna. So apart from its you can say the beauty, the color combination, you can see the white with the orange stick at the back, center part is orange, so it's highly medicinal. The leaves, the flowers, they are used in most of, you can say, kadha or kashaya, what we make, boiling them in hot water and having early morning. It is very good for your you can say diabetes, your blood pressure, and too good for your arthritis pain also. Many times people boil these leaves in oil also and apply that oil in any of the areas where you have pain. And many people, after a long, you can say, fever or an ailment, it is very fast, you can say, the body recovers really fast if you consume the flowers and the leaves. Furthermore, you can Google it, so many informations are there about this. So we'll be talking about the plant. So as I told you, Parijata or the Harshringar plant, it is basically a tree. Yes, we can grow it in the pot, because we urban gardeners, we want everything to be in our terraces. Yes, we can grow it in our terrace, but only thing is little management is required in maintaining this plant. First of all, as I told you, it's a tree variety. So from the very beginning, don't go for very small pot. The pot size should be minimum 20 inches. I have taken a old paint bucket, so you can go for that also. A little bigger than this also is fine. So once you have taken the bucket, make sure the proper drainage is there in the pot. And the potting mix, what we need for this plant is a equal quantity of your red soil, coco peat, compost, and little bit of sand also we can add. That also you can say all four in equal quantities, because that creates a very nice well drained soil. Whenever we prepare a soil for the potting mix of any of the plant, it's better to add little neem cake in that, so that any infections or any fungal attack is there in the soil, that can be taken care of. So now once we have prepared the soil, the plant is being planted. Now the thing comes, where should we keep this plant? Yes, this plant needs a good sunlight, well drained soil, and it loves pruning. So keep regularly pruning the plant, so it will have more branches and more buds will be there to bloom. Now I have two plants, both bought at the same time. That's what both of them I have kept it together just to show you. So this and this I have bought it at the same time, same soil mix, same sunlight they are getting, and you can say almost they are of the same age also. Pruning also generally I do at the same time only, but there is a very major difference when I observe these two individually. That only I wanted to discuss with you all, that if you see this, every branch is having buds here, you see here also. Such a tiny plant, just one major shoot is there, in that only everywhere the blooms are there. Whereas if you see this, it has more number of branches, but not a single bud is there, though they are of the same age. So what difference is it there in both of them, because the nutrition, the soil mix, the sunlight, everything they are getting equal. So what I observed is that this, as I told you, this is a tree variety plant. So once it grows huge, so these stems, when you see, there will be too many on the, you can say they create a canopy kind of a tree effect over the tree. So they all will be closer to each other like this. Now these stems, they have a tendency to go apart from the tree, so they spread apart. So what I feel personally, that they are very much dried. Okay, so in between so much space is there, so might be they love too much of moisture. That is my observation. You can further, as in when you do gardening, you research with this plant. What I have observed this, that because these stems, they go really very far, and there is too much dryness in the stem and the leaves is there. When we touch also, these leaves are little, you can say a rough texture. Generally whichever plant we are growing, they have a very smooth leathery texture, but this is a very rough textured plant. Okay, initially the leaves shape will be different. It will be something like this, without any serrated edges. As and when the plant grows, if you see the matured leaves, they'll have a serrated edges. And if you touch also, they are very rough. See, if you can listen the voice, the harshness also, the sound also you can hear. So what I personally observe is that might be, though they are of the same age, but why this is flowering and this is not flowering. So only difference what I have done is, to this I have given a support of a bamboo stick, whereas I have given a moss stick support to this. So might be because of the moss stick, each and every joint of the plant is getting some amount of moisture. So I think that is working for the plant. When the plant is bigger, you can say a tree forms, so all the branches, they come closer to each other, so the moisture level is created. Whereas in this individual plant, they all are moving here and there, so they are not getting proper moisture. So might be that is the main reason for not flowering. This is my observation. You can further work on it. When you grow, it might be you will come up with something more interesting. So this is what I feel. Now apart from the growing, now whenever the flower, you see the plant, when you see it's in the flowering stage, so we come to know that the buds and all are coming. So just before that only, whenever you have to fertilize any of the flowering plants, make sure you should not fertilize them when they are at their blooms. So what happens when suppose this is all the buds are there, in another few days all the blooms will be there, and this is the time, suppose I fertilize because they need, as always I say, they need phosphorus and potassium to have a good flowering. So if we are giving rock phosphate or any other, you can say banana peel fertilizer at this stage, so the whole concentration of the plant goes in absorbing those nutrients from the soil, whereas we want it to have more of blooms. So anytime when you have to give nutrition to the plants, especially the floral plants, make sure don't give during the time when they are in the blooming stage. Before the blooming stage, when the plant is in its growth, they need more nutrition when they are growing. So once they are in the growing stage, we should give the nutrition. During the flowering time, the watering and the nutrition both should be controlled. Once the flowering gets over, now this is the almost September month, so September to, you can say, February, March, this plant is going to bloom. So that is the only period when I am not going to give a nice fertilizer to this plant. After that period, this plant is going in the dormancy. Dormancy, you can say, it's a kind of a stage where the plant survives. Leaves and all will be there. Only thing, new shoots won't come. The plant won't be really very active during that time. So once the flowering is over, as our baby is going to sleep, this is that the dormancy period is the sleeping time for any of the plants. So as my baby is going to sleep, I have to make sure that it is fully filled stomach. So what I'll do, before the dormancy periods, I'll give all the nutrition, let it be the Ghana Jivamrita, rock phosphate, or any other whatever Jivamrita you want, you just give it. Prune your plant, give all the nutrition, little vermicompost also you can give. After giving that, just let the plant be on and off. You can give watering, no need too much watering also, because active growth is not there in its dormancy period. So once the dormancy is over, now my plant, again the dormancy period will be in, you can say approximately 3 to 4 months will be there. Again during the rainy season, new shoots will start coming. You can say July, August month, again the new shoots will start coming, and again from September the flowering will start. So once the dormancy period is over, my baby has got up from a deep sleep, so it's hungry. It needs food to have more growth, more foliage, more flowers, more blooms. So it needs more energy. So that is the time I should be ready with all my fertilizers and everything. The pruning already it's done, so it's ready for the new shoots. So it needs more of nutrition. So that time we should give again little of Ghana Jivamrita, little of vermicompost and little of your rock phosphate. And then my plant, my baby is ready to have new blooms. So that is basically taking care of the Parijata plant. Water I already told you, always it does not need much watering. It loves little drier, till the soil is dry, don't water it. And one major thing is regularly keep raking the soil, because as I told you, this plant needs nice dry soil. So if you keep every plant approximately at the gap of 15 to 20 days, if regularly raking is done, any problem is there related to the roots that will not come, because nice aerations will be there and there won't be any fungus problem to the roots. So that is one thing. Now when we talk about the propagation of this plant, so propagation, this can be done either with the seeds. Once the blooms are over, this will bear seeds. So single seeds will come, single seed pods will be there. You can take the seed, and then the normal how we sow the seeds, you can just sow the seeds in a controlled temperature, and then once this you see the germination or the sprouting, you can shift it to any of the pods. One more method is the easier method, you can say, with the stem cutting. This is really very easy to grow with the stems. So what we have to do is just take any of the Parijata cutting, make sure you have sterilized your scissors or whatever you are using for the blades and anything. Now you have taken, make sure, if this earlier also I have told you, a V or Y kind of a joint thing. Okay, if you get such cutting, it's well and fine. Otherwise a single will also do. So just take that. Now we don't want this, we'll remove this. We don't want this, we'll remove this. So only this much is there. Okay, so we'll just take a 45-degree cut here. Now this is ready. Okay, now if you want to use rooting hormone powder, you can use that. If you have aloe vera, you can use that. If you have cinnamon powder, you can apply it here. So whatever you have, that you can apply it. Generally I don't use anything. Sometimes if I have time, I apply that. Otherwise generally I use it directly. So you just take your potting mix. In that, whatever potting mix we generally use, that only I have taken. This is my cutting. Make sure whenever you do the placement, you can say you are inserting your stick, do not give pressure to the main stem what we have to grow. So I've made a hole there. So now what I'm going to do is, in that I'll insert this with the nice pressure of your fingers. Just make it nicely tight and still. If you want little, you can sprinkle the water. Once you have sprinkled the water, I've just cut a plastic bottle, the upper part, and just 2-3 holes I have put in the bottle. Now you cover this like this. Okay, now keep it in a place, you can say a place where do not come direct sunlight, a shady place or very indirect sunlight it gets, for almost a week to 10 days. Within that much time, you will see small tiny shoots have started coming. Now once you see that, you can remove this and keep it in a little indirect sunlight area, and every alternate day we can start watering. Before that, once only watering was enough, because they create their own ecosystem. So once that is done, you remove this, keep it in a brighter sunny area and let it be in this pot approximately, you can say, 2 to 3 months. So in that much duration, nice root formation will happen, and then your plant is ready to be shifted to any of the bigger pot. Now as I told you about the moss stick, so if you want to experiment with it, you can go ahead. Otherwise, with the normal stick also you can give a support, because if the plant now as you see this plant is too much, I have given the support of this stick, but still the branches are overall everywhere it is there. So every time a nice wind is there, the whole plant is shaking. So what happens when too much shake is there in the plant, might be the plant is feeling insecure and the whole concentration is holding something. So it might not concentrate on blooms also, whereas this I have tied it with the thread. So this plant is feeling too much on a safer zone, so the whole concentration goes on the blooms. So this was everything about Parijata. There are many mythological stories are there related to this that you can always Google on about it, about Krishna also, about the origin of this plant. Highly medicinal. I recommend and you can request all of you that this is a must have plant in your terrace. So thank you for joining me. Thank you.